The following is a presentation of Retro Sports Network, home of the champions of the past, present, and future. Hit the right button. We have reached the dog days of summer. 6 weeks between the All-Star break and Labor Day, where champions are developed and the weather gets hot. You saw that a couple days ago when the St. Louis Cardinals and Cincinnati Reds played in 103-degree temperatures. Well, we've moved on, and Tuesday night in Baltimore, the California Angels outbattled Denny Martinez in the second place Baltimore Orioles. The Angels drew first blood in the second. A 15th homer of the year from Doug DeCinces was overpowering to dead center. 1-0 Angels. And then the Orioles. Gary Renicky with a fielder's choice. 1-1. And it stayed that way until the eighth. Glenn Gulliver. Yep, Glenn Gulliver singled home Al Bumpry to give the Orioles a 2-1 lead. Is it time to celebrate in Baltimore? No, as Denny Martinez gets bamboozled by an error. Bob Boone hit into an error to third to tie the game 2-2. And then Brian Downing hit a 3-run monster shot to give the Angels a 5-2 lead. John Lowenstein tried to get the Orioles back in the chase, but the final score, California 5, Baltimore 3. And now, as Retro Sports Network presents Major League Baseball 1982, a lunchtime replay from Memorial Stadium in Baltimore. It's the California Angels, come on, computer, and the Baltimore Orioles. And what could be possibly a preview of the American League Championship Series. It's Ken Forsch against Mike Flanagan. And right now, the game hasn't, or the streaming software hasn't crashed. Yep. Even here in Baltimore, it's 85 degrees. Winds blowing out to center at 11 miles an hour. It's just kind of downright sticky. How you doing, Dale? Good to have you along, and let's get right to it. As Mike Flanagan warms, he's looking for win number 11 on the year. The Angels and the Orioles, and like I said, what we hope to be possibly a preview of the American League Championship Series. No, you get to look at my early month first. So yeah, you got a hot weather day, 85 degrees. You got the winds blowing out, and now 6 weeks where we just kind of get numb to everything. You got a lot of good matchups on Thursday afternoon. We're going to have the Phillies and Mike Schmidt's Triple Crown bid against the Los Angeles Dodgers. We don't know what we're doing yet for the Friday game. But again, you kind of get these previews. Montreal is in Los Angeles. We decided not to do that one today. And what we think might be the National League Championship Series. So it's all sorts of jostling and positioning around to see just exactly what's going to happen over these next 6 weeks. And then you hit Labor Day, and then the final month of the season where anything can possibly happen. But we think in the American League, we still have two good races. And as we take you back to the field, we can show you what's going on. Why are we so excited about it? How many more times can we shove the Angels down your throat? A lot. So in the American League East, the Orioles have lost the last two. California has came in and taken the last two. But Detroit has lost their last one. So the Tigers' lead over the Orioles is 5 games. Milwaukee at 49-41 is still 5 back. Certainly not out of anything yet, but no one's really gaining any ground. Toronto is still about 500, but at 7 back, they need Detroit to come back down to earth, and you can't be taking long losing streaks at this time of year. In the National League West, Kansas City has kind of rose and fallen back down to earth. California is 55-37. They're still under 500 on the road. They're 20-22, but they're 35-15 at the Big A. The White Sox are still kind of hanging on 5.5 back. Yes, it is. That's Old Memorial Stadium. Yes, they're still in it, but they're going to need some help. In the National League, Montreal isn't going anywhere. 61-30. I mean, look how well Philadelphia's playing. They're 55-36 and can gain no ground. In fact, they've lost a game since we've seen you last. And Los Angeles, Atlanta, and Cincinnati have all won 7-10, but Los Angeles has a 10-game lead. So here, Mike Flanagan looking for his 11th win of the year. He is 10-5 with a 3.65 ERA. This is start number 19 for him. And the 1979 Cy Young Award winner last pitched 4 nights ago against Seattle. And took the loss. 7 innings, 11 hits, 5 runs, all earned. He walked 1 and struck out 4. So on the year, he's thrown 133 innings, 120 hits, 12 homers, 63 runs, 54 earned, walked 45, and struck out 62. He's pitched poorly in his last 3 starts. The Tigers lit him up for 9, as a game I believe we had here. In fact, we did. It was July 4th. And the Mariners took him for 6 on the 8th and 5 on the 17th. He needs to pitch well. You don't want to be giving games away this time of year. The lineup that he will face this evening. It is Brian Downing, who had his big 19th home run of the year in the 9th last night, will lead off and play left field. Ron Carew will bat second and play first. Don Baylor, is your DH. He'll hit third. Then the straw that stirs the drink. And on an 85-degree night, you know that's a gin and tonic. Reggie Jackson will play right field and clean up. Doug DeCinces will play third and bat fifth. Freddie Lynn is in center field. He'll go sixth. Bobby Grich and the never-ending puns that go with his name will play second and bat seventh. Tim Foley, not Rick Burleson, is your shortstop. He'll go eighth. And Joe Ferguson is your catcher. And Ken Forsch is on the mound. B.J. Wadland, how are you? At least your Cubbies aren't cellar dwellers yet. They hung on for a while, and in fact, in April and May, they actually contended, but that is no longer the case. Defensively for the Orioles, it is John Lowenstein is a 5 and a 2 and left. Al Bumbry is an 8 and a 6 in center, and Jim Dwyer is a 4 and 3 in right. Bumbry has the best range. Bumbry has the best arm. Glenn Gulliver, who made the big boo-boo last night, is still at third base. Earl Weaver put him back in the lineup much against his better judgment. He's a 5. Cal Ripken is a 5 at short. Rich Dower is a 3 at second. Eddie Murray is a 10 at first. Defense, except for Murray, is average or below average. And behind the plate, Rick Dempsey is a 4 and a 6. And as Dave Baseball Demo says, may the force be with you. All right. Gonna be one of those days. How you doing, Dave Gardner? No. He's on the Red Sox for you. He never played for the Red Sox for anybody else. So Brian Downing, who had the big game-winning home run last night in the ninth, starts at 272, 19 homers, and 53 RBI. Both starters should be able to go deep. And I guess the streaming software isn't going to crap out this afternoon. So Downing's ready, so is the lefty Flanagan, and we are underway in Baltimore. Line drive to Gulliver, who makes the catch for the out. Here's Rod Carew at 329, 3 homers, and 31 RBI. Already matched his triples and home run total for the year. Warm night, 85 degrees, and that wind is blowing out to dead center. In fact, that flag, you can see the pixels there, have it going out to dead center. Carew, ground ball to Ripken by the bag at second. Over to Murray for the out. Dave was building some golf courses. Just so I know, what streaming software do I use? I use XSplit because it's pretty much all keyboard commands for me, so I can go around from screen to screen. My intro slide, the camera, and the game itself. Don Baylor is at 284. 20 homers and 72 RBIs. Looking at these numbers, you could say that the Angels have exceeded expectations. Again, the problem with California is going to be their bullpen. That's the bad news. The good news is that outside of the Tigers, no one else has a bullpen in the American League East. Here's the pitch from Flanagan. Fly ball to center. Back goes Bunbury to the track. He makes the catch to retire the side. No runs, no hits, no errors. After half an inning, California, nothing. Here come the birds. And may the force be with you is right. Kenny looking for win number 12 on the year. He is 11-5 with a 2.95 ERA. This is start 21. For Forsch, owner of the 82-mile-an-hour fastball. His last start came 5 nights ago against the Cleveland Indians, where he scattered 5 over 9 innings, giving up a run, 2 walks, and 4 strikeouts. So on the year, he has thrown 155 in the third innings, allowed 137 hits, 15 home runs, 57 runs in total, 51 earned. He has walked 52 and struck out 44. And with that 1-run effort against Cleveland, his ERA has slides for the first time this year under 3. It's now at 2.95. The lineup he will face: Al Bunbury will lead it off in center field. Who's better, him or his brother? I guess that's they both had good careers. I think Bob probably had the better career. I don't know. Anyway, Glenn Gulliver, the third baseman, will bat second. He's a lefty. Ken Singleton is your DH this evening. He'll bat third. Eddie Murray will bat fourth. John Lowenstein will bat fifth. Cal Ripken, they bounced him all around the lineup. He will hit sixth tonight. Jim Dwyer, the right fielder, will bat seventh. Rich Dower will go eighth, and Rick Dempsey is catching. He'll bat ninth. It's a cold day here in New England. Alexa, what's the temperature?
Right now, it's 45 degrees. Tonight, expect a low of 36 degrees.
Thank you.
Of course.
And a gentle reminder that today is April 30th. And we're having lows in the high 30s. Brian Downing is at left for the Angels. He's a 6 and a 3. Freddie Lynn is a 7 and 5 in center. Reggie Jackson is a 3 and 6 in right. So Jackson has the best arm, and Fred Lynn has the best range. Doug DeCinces a 9 at third. Tim Foley a 6 at short. Bobby Grich, Dave Demo's favorite player, is a 7 at second. Rod Carew is a 7 at first. And Joe Ferguson, who I don't believe we've had in this replay, is a 4 and a 6 behind the plate. Bunbury at 268, 4 homers and 31 RBI. Forsch delivers, and there's a ground ball to Grich behind the bag at second, over to Carew for the out. The Red Sox are home all week against Oakland, no less, in real life, and the weather's just terrible here in New England. I mean, Dave Gardner, just his hair is all frizzed out, and so's my wife. Not that you've ever seen the two in the same room. Bum. So Glenn Gulliver at 231 with an RBI. He's 3 for 13 on the year with a double. And if you've never seen this picture before, well, you probably won't see it again. 1 out, here's the pitch. And there's a ground ball to Foley on the grass, throws to Carew, 2 out. And that'll bring up Ken Singleton. Kenny at 261, 6 homers and 36 RBI. Forsch is ready. He delivers, and Singleton lines this one foul down the first base side. Somebody from Bowie got a hold of that one and has a souvenir. And as Rex Barney would say, sign that kid to a contract. A ball and 2 strikes, 2 out. Forsch delivers, and there's a line drive right to Bobby Grich. He stares it to retire the side. Well, no runs, no hits, no errors. We played 1. California, nothing. Baltimore, nothing. And so here's the straw that stirs the drink. We know some delusional people think he played for the Red Sox in 1977. Those are the ones who also think the Bruins beat Montreal 12-3 every time. Jackson at 291, 22 homers and 63 RBI. On the year, having a great year. Hit 260 against lefties in 82. Flanagan delivers, struck him out, an 0-2 curve, and Reggie chased for the first out. So that brings up Doug DeCinces at 307, 15 homers and 51 RBI. No score, top the second, 84-degree night here in Baltimore. And that wind is blowing out to right now at 11. So the lefty hitters, and there's a lot of them in both lineups, might hit some home runs. Pitch to DeCinces is a base hit into left center field. DeCinces will round first and hold, and who's hurt? DeCinces turned an ankle. He tripped over first base. He gets back. So the trainers come out and spray that Bactine stuff on it. And that doesn't do a gosh diddly darn thing. And DeCinces says, yeah, I'm staying in the game, but don't make me steal any bases. Here's Freddie Lynn. Freddie at 305, 12 homers and 49 RBI. Flanagan delivers, and Lynn pops it up right side. Dower has it for the out. 2 out for Bobby Grich at 241. 9 homers and 52 RBI. Ken Forsch never started against his brother Bob. He was primarily a reliever in Houston. He did pitch in relief for Houston in the 4 games that Bob Forsch started for St. Louis. We need to give Dave a raise, you know that? Love that DeCinces 82 Strat card. Yeah, I bet it's good because I don't know what people actually hit in the replays or not, but you know who you're excited about seeing and who plays well, and DeCinces is one of those players. Flanagan's pitch. Grich hits this one deep to left. It's gone. So he hit that one very deep into the stands. His 10th of the season and 4th against his old team. And quickly, it's 2-0 California. What Flanagan... Oh, hit the wrong button, Ron. Why won't it hit the replay? Because you hit the box score button, dummy. Here it is again. It looked like he hung an off-speed pitch in there, and Grich just T-balled it into left field. So the Angels get out to a 2-0 lead with 2 out here in the top of the second. Here's Tim Foley. I even had those kind of glasses. Tim at 265, 2 homers and 32 RBI. DeCinces did have a solid career. Tough act to follow in Baltimore following Brooks Robinson. Who'd they trade for him? Was that the Grich trade? Or was that 2 different trades? DeCinces was tough. Put a little blue emu on it, stays in the game. Pitch to Foley as a ground ball to third. Gulliver travels a long throw over to Murray, and that will retire the side. 2 runs, 2 hits, no errors. Inning and a half in the books. It's California 2, Baltimore nothing. And so Kenny will face Eddie Murray, John Lowenstein, and Cal Ripken. Murray still red hot at 340 on the year. 19 homers and 62 RBI. Mike Schmidt, who you'll see Thursday afternoon, in line for the Triple Crown. He leads the National League in batting average, home runs, and RBI. In fact, it might have been Dan Ford. I bet you're right. In fact, he leads the majors in all 3 categories. Pitch to Murray is a ground ball to DeCinces, and that eats him up. DeCinces booted it. He scrambled but couldn't get it out of his glove, and that's an E5. So Murray reaches on the air, and that'll bring up John Lowenstein, 232, 8 homers and 28 RBI. The Orioles could use some power here. They trail 2-0 in the bottom of the second. Forsch delivers, and there's a ground ball to DeCinces. Long throw to Carew, and Lowenstein's got wheels, but they got him. So DeCinces makes up for it and gets the out at first. 1 out for Mr. Ripken, and Cal's at 281. 19 homers and 59 RBI. Traded for Disco Dan Ford. Is Schmidt going to win the Preakness then? Well, we've already had those races, but he's a favorite in the Traverse in about a month up here at Saratoga. Forsch delivers. Ripken to center field. Back goes Lynn to make the catch. Murray tags. He goes to third. The throw to DeCinces is in time. Lynn threw him out. And although there was a 77% chance of that, Lynn's arm is still pretty good. It was a wise chance to go, and that was just a bullet from Freddie Lynn to Doug DeCinces, and that will retire the side. No runs, no hits, no one error. The error doesn't hurt. After 2, California 2, Baltimore nothing. Don Baylor used to be. There's a lot of former Orioles on this Angel team. Just looking at the starting lineup, Don Baylor, Doug DeCinces, and Bobby Grich all played for the Orioles before then. Freddie Lynn, of course, would go to Baltimore. Joe Ferguson used to be a Dodger, used to be an Astro, now is with the Angels. He's a 271, a homer, and an RBI. Flanagan deals. Fly ball to left center. Bumbre's got it for the first out. Here, okay, so after 9 batters, Flanagan, now 1 bad pitch to Grich is the difference. 32 pitches, 2 1/3 innings through 9 batters, 2 hits, the home run to Grich, and a strikeout. So both runs are earned. Downing lined out to third to start the game. 1 out, top the third. 2-0 California. And Downing draws ball 4. So Flanagan, the 3-1, was low and way inside. Now bring up Carew. Grounded out to Ripken his first time up. Pitch to Carew is a base hit that's up the middle. Carew's going for 2. Bumbry gets it in, not in time, and so the Angels have runners on second and third and 1 out for Don Baylor, who flew out to deep center. Wind is now at 12 out to right field. And isn't Mr. Jackson thinking about that in a moment? Flanagan's pitch. Baylor line drive to Murray at first, and he hauls it in. 2 out. So if you're going to have a mediocre defense and have one that's fantastic, Murray was the guy, and he was in the right spot. Reggie Jackson struck out his first time up. 82 Angels were old. Yes, they were. DeCinces, Grich, Carew, Boone, Jackson, Lynn, and Baylor are all in the twilight of their careers and throwing Tommy John. When did Ferguson go to the Bills? I think he moonlighted as a quarterback. My dad, I'll tell you this story in a minute. Here's Reggie. He's 0 for 1. Here's the pitch, and Reggie strikes out. Flanagan gets out of it. Reggie looked on an 0-2 pitch on the outside corner for strike 3. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. 2.5 in the books. 2-0 Angels. It'll be Jim Dwyer, Rich Dower, and Rick Dempsey. So Dave makes a joke about when did Joe Ferguson go to the Bills. He was with the Bills a long time. Not the same Joe Ferguson, of course. I think this Joe Ferguson probably would have been a better quarterback. But my late dad, who was a huge Buffalo Bills fan, always knew when Ferguson was quarterbacking what they were going to do. Because if Ferguson went to the sidelines early on and the shoulders were slumped and the head was there, he called it the Fergie Bob, and the body language said Buffalo is beast. Jim Kelly never had that problem, but you could always, and he was right, you could always tell if Joe Ferguson was, that, yep, we're done. All right. Jim Dwyer is not done. He's at 363, a homer and 14 RBI. Porsche delivers, ball 4. Would be fun to see Jack Dempsey catching for the Orioles. Probably not in 1982, though. And I think, you'd have a hard time getting around to catch those balls that got away. Here's Dower at 239, 3 homers and 32 RBI. 1 on, nobody out, bottom of the third. California 2, Baltimore nothing. And Dower hits this one into left center. That's going to go all the way back to the wall. Dwyer will hold at third. Dower is on with a double. Downing does not have that great of an arm. But the Orioles have already had a runner thrown out on the bases. So the tying run is on second for Rick Dempsey, who's hitting 247 with a homer and 18 RBI. Dave, you got me there. But at bat, he would pack quite a punch. You imagine how long it would take for him to run the bases? I mean, it would be the world's longest count. Pitch to Dempsey. Here's a run right back to Forsch. Dwyer holds. The throw to Carew is in time for the first out. So runners are still on second and third for Bunbury. Ken Forsch, 39 pitches, 2 1/3 innings, 1 hit, and a walk. No runs. And Bunbury grounded out to second his first time up. So the tying runs on second for Baltimore with Bunbury at the plate. Forsch's pitch. Ground ball to Gritch. Dwyer will score. The throw to Carew is in time, and it's 2-1. So the Orioles are early enough in this game. They will trade ground balls for outs for runs. But Glenn Gulliver, who's 0 for 1, ground ball to short to Foley his first time up, makes it a 2-1 game. So Baltimore on the board, and the lead is cut in half. Pitch from Forsch, and here's a line drive. Lynn makes the catch to retire the side. 1 run on 1 hit and no errors. We've played 3 at Memorial, California 2, Baltimore on the board with 1. Demo reminds me of euchre color guy. Oh yeah, in my major league. Except for Dave isn't taking the bottle of Jack Daniels out of my hand between innings. So it'll be DeCinces, who singled and scored. Lynn and Bobby Gritch here in the fourth for the Angels. Mike Flanagan, he struggled his last 2 starts and is down 2-1 here as we start the fourth. Pitch to DeCinces as a line drive to Ripken, and Cal just gets it for the out. Freddie Lynn is 0 for 1. Flanagan could use some easy work here. You got to figure at some point the Tigers are going to come back down to earth a little bit. But their bullpen is decent, and their starters are decent. And that might be enough. That just might be enough. Pitch to Lynn. Oh, it plunked him. So Freddie gets nailed in the midsection, and he trots off to first, and Flanagan says a few choice words. And that'll bring up Bobby Gritch, who powered a 2-run shot into left his first time up. Wins are now at the right at 15. Flanagan deals, and Gritch sends this one into right. Dwyer makes the catch. Lynn goes back to first for the out. So 2 out for Foley. Him grounded out his first time up. Gonna run and pick up a hit. All right. Hey, thanks for coming in, though, ID. Always glad to have you along wherever you guys are eating lunch or breakfast. If you're listening in California live, it's only 9:27 in the morning. Hey, Kelly and Ryan Seacrest are still on in your part of the world. Pitch to Foley. There goes Lynn to throw down to Dower, and Lynn steals the base. That's his 7th of the year. So a stolen base, and Lynn is in scoring position. That pitch was a strike to Foley. 0-1 the count, 2 out, top the fourth. Flanagan deals, and that's right back to Mike. Over to Murray at the bag at first to retire the side. No runs, no hits, no errors. They survived the hit Batman. After 3.5, it's still California 2, Baltimore 1. So it'll be Kenny Singleton, Eddie Murray, and John Lowenstein here for the Orioles in the fourth. Nice night now. Nice cool breeze to right. 81 degrees on this July 21st. Ideal baseball weather. Pitch to Singleton, who's 0 for 1. That's a base hit in the right. Reggie picks it up on a hop. And the Orioles have the tying run on for Eddie Murray, who's 0 for 1. Eddie reached on out error his first time up. Still 2-1 Angels. Pitch from Forsch. Struck him out. Swung on it. Missed on a 1-2 curveball. Murray wanted to A fastball, and he got a curve instead, strike 3. So that's the first for Forsch. And that'll bring up John Lowenstein, who grounded out in the second and is 0 for 1. Forsch delivers, struck him out. He swung on and missed at what passes for a fastball, and that's 2 for Forsch. 2 out and 1 on. For Cal Ripken, who's 0 for 1. Cal flew out to deep right center, his first time up. Forsch delivers, and there's a ground ball to Foley. Long throw to Carew. Ripken's got wheels, and he's out. So no runs, 1 hit, no errors. After 4, it's still the Angels 2, the Orioles 1. So Joe Ferguson, Brian Downing, and Ron Carew after I take a drink. Good old refreshing lake water. So for the Angels, this is game 93, and for the Orioles, this is game 89. And if you are in Concord, New Hampshire, those two highways meet there, actually technically in Bow, B-O-W. Here's Joe Ferguson, J-O-E, he's 0 for 1. Flanagan deals, and there's a ground ball up the middle, base hit. Cal Ripken couldn't quite get there. He should have been there and wasn't. So Ferguson's on with a single. And that brings up Brian Downing. So after 18 batters, Mike Flanagan, 64 pitches, 4 innings, 4 hits. The home run by Gritch produced the only 2 runs the Angels have, so they're both earned. He has walked 1 and struck out 2, and that lone walk was to Brian Downing. Flanagan deals, and Downing tries to bunt, and it rolls foul. So the count is 0-2. Flanagan ready. Here's the pitch. Fly ball to left center. Back goes Bunbury to the track. That's off the wall. Ferguson will hold at third. Downing's on with a double. And the Angels have 2 in scoring position and nobody out for Rod Carew, who was 1 for 2 with a double. Baylor and Jackson to follow, so you really got to tiptoe around this tulip field right here. Flanagan. Ground ball up the middle, base hit. Ferguson will score. Downing holds at third. And Carew, who is a good bunter, you're not going to drop one there, gets the RBI, and it's 3-1 California. So the Angels are making it count. And here's Don Baylor. He's 0 for 2. Pitch from Flanagan. Ball 4. And so Flanagan again is struggling, and that'll bring up one Reginald Martinez Jackson. They're loaded. They are loaded for Jackson. He has struck out twice tonight. He is 0 for 2. Downing on third, Carew on second, and Baylor on first. If you're wondering, you can kind of see it there on the screen, but if you're doing this on the radio version, he's hit 1 granny slam this year. Just a bit outside. Yep, second walk for Flanagan. And Dempsey goes out to calm him down. Flanagan delivers. Struck him out. He went right down Broadway for strike 3, and Jackson watched it. He stood there like a barn on the side of the road, and Jackson mutters to himself as he goes back to the dugout. 1 out for DeCinces, who is 1 for 2. He has singled and scored. An angel on every cloud. It sounds like a toilet paper ad. What's the one with the little Snuggles bear, right? An angel on every cloud. Sensei, as I said, he's got an RB, he's got a single and a run scored, and he can break this one open right here. Flanagan delivers. Fly ball to center. That should get Downing home. Bunbury will make the catch. Downing tags, will score without a throw. Carew moves to third, and it's 4-1 California. And that'll bring up Freddie Lynn. Popped a second, hit by a pitch, and stole a base. How you doing, Mr. Castro? Oh, even when he misses with the puns, he gets it back. That may be why that pun was crap. Yes. How you doing, Ken the Jet Castro? 2 out. 4-1 California. Top the fifth. Flanagan delivers, and Lynn goes down by way of the K. He swung on and missed an 0-2 breaking ball, and that will retire the side. 2 runs on 3 hits and no errors. Halfway home at Memorial Stadium, the Angels 4, the Orioles 1. Come on, pop up. There we go. So if you're late or just kind of tuning in, watching on mute, here's the in-game box score. Reggie Jackson has struck out 3 times. So this will give me a chance to tell you on Thursday we will have the Phillies and Dodgers from Dodger Stadium, same time at noon. Tomorrow, of course, at noon. This week on the E on Dave Gardner's channel. And then NFL Classics Wednesday night at 7:30. Around there or so, the replay of the 1975 NFC Divisional Contest between the Dallas Cowboys and Minnesota Vikings. No Hail Marys allowed for Dallas. That's this Wednesday at 7:30. So that's the next few days on Retro Sports Network. Again, Flanagan has not pitched well his last 3 times out. And they are happier than a piggy in poop in Detroit. This is a lone Wednesday game this week. Thursday's game is technically a Friday game, and whatever game we pick for Saturday obviously will be a Saturday game. So here's Jimmy Dwyer. He has walked and scored as we start the bottom of the 5th. Forrest delivers. Ball 4, just a bit outside. Actually, was high and tight on a 3-0 pitch. So a second walk for Kenny Forrest, and that'll bring up Rich Dower. Earl winces as he gives a sign for the hit and run. Ferguson goes out to talk to Forrest. Pitch to Dower, runner goes, and there's a base hit in the right field. Dwyer will move to third. Jackson throws it back in. So it works. So runners on first and third. Nobody out for Rick Dempsey. Rounded out to Forrest's first time out. Let's see. Glad to hear that, Kenny. Orioles are underachieving in the season replay. They seem to lose when you broadcast them, which is funny. They're 51-37 and only 2 games back of Detroit. A lot of baseball left. How about wine bottles? What about wine bottles? I missed that one. I miss a lot of things. So Dempsey's 0 for 1. Forrest's pitch. There's a base hit up the middle. Dwyer will score. Dower will hold at second, and Dempsey's on first. If you're talking about the Orioles, I think the only place you'd find a wine bottle is at the package store in the neighborhood. This was a Budweiser drinking team. Bunbury is 0 for 2. Al has an RBI. Got that on a fielder's choice. So through only 18 batters, Forrest at 77 pitches, 4 innings plus 4 hits, 2 runs, both earned now. 4-2 California. He has walked 2 and struck out 2. Bunbury's RBI gives him 32 on the year. First and second, nobody out for the Orioles. They trail by 2, and Bunbury up the middle. Forrest, he boots it around, he scoots it around, and will not make a throw. He bobbled it. He got the good hockey save down, but he couldn't throw it to anybody by the time he found the handle. And so the bases are full of Baltimore's for Glenn Gulliver, who is 0 for 2. Football game. Oh, yeah, plenty of those. Plenty of those in the stands. And Earl, my God, Earl had we've made the jokes about him opening up the Chesterfields and eating them. Gulliver grounded to short and lined to center. Nobody out. Dower on third. Dempsey on second. Bunbury on first. The Orioles already have a run in here, and it's 4-2. Forrest delivers, and there's a base hit into left center. Dower will score. Dempsey holds at third. You're going to get to the meat of the Oriole lineup, and it's now 4-3 California. Back. Did someone say the Orioles were underachieving? All sorts of nasty looks to Dave baseball demos. Singleton is singled. He's 1-for-2. A bird on every nest. I like that. So Forsh in a world of trouble here in the fifth, rather. Ferguson goes out to calm down his general again. Here's the pitch. There's a fly ball to left center. They'll get in a run. Lynn will have it. Dempsey tags. Lynn gonna throw home. Nope, he throws it into third. Bumbry's in there. And it's now tied at 4. So the sac fly by Singleton ties this game at 4. And the Orioles strike back for Eddie Murray, who's 0-for-2 with a strikeout. So Gulliver is on first. Bumbry moves to third. Murray has reached on an error and struck out. 1 out. The Orioles have 3 on the board already this inning. Here's the pitch. And there's a high fly ball to left center. Back goes Downing. He'll turn and watch it go. That's a monster shot. To the right of the to the left of the scoreboard and the right of the seats. And so Eddie Murray's got 20 on the year, and the Birds have put a 6th spot on the board here in the 5th. It's 7-4. So Force hangs the head. Murray, that's an opposite field shot. That ball was hammered. By the time that was done bouncing, that was by the light standard in left center. So 7-4 Baltimore. They've played in 6 so far in the inning. Lowenstein 0-for-2 with the strikeout. Force still in the game. Popped up left side. Foley and DeCinces. It's DeCinces. 2 out. For Cal Ripken, who's 0-for-2. That was Ron Luciano, who wrote The Umpire Strikes Back. Did some games for NBC in the early 80s. Wasn't all that good, but yep. And just like when I got on to Alan Trammell a few weeks ago and he went on an absolute tear, yep, someone heckled the Orioles and the Orioles got it going. Al is 0-for-2. Force delivers, and there's a line drive right to Carew. Carew make the leap and catch, but Baltimore has taken the lead on 6 runs on 4 hits and 1 error. We've played 5. It's the Orioles 7, California 4. So Bobby Grich, 1-for-2. He's got the big home run. Tim Foley and Joe Ferguson. Scheduled here in the top of the 6th. Flanagan delivers, struck him out. Full count pitch, fastball below the belt for strike 3. There's Tim Foley, he's 0-for-2. So Flanagan, as I said, has not pitched well as of late, but he's got a 3-run lead now. And Ron Jackson's going to pinch hit for Tim Foley. So Papa Jack at 375. No homers and 8 RBI. Hit lefties at a 351 clip. Yeah, that Bird bullpen. These of contending teams, I would think that California and Baltimore might have some of the worst bullpens of a World Series contender you're ever going to see. Milwaukee's right now is good, but once they lose Raleigh Fingers, I'm telling you, we talked about this over the weekend. If the White Sox can hang on, they could sneak a pennant just because they have Barojas to close out games. Baltimore and California don't have a closer, and it's going to make a difference. Jackson strikes out. The throw down to Murray is in time. So that's 6 for Flanagan, and I'll bring up Joe Ferguson. He's 1-for-2. Has singled and scored. Flanagan at 100 pitches deals. Gulliver with a nice stop. Long throw to Murray at first to retire the side. So Mike Flanagan throws a shutdown inning. Are you paying attention, Washington Nationals? That's what you do after you score runs. you throw shutdown innings. 5.5 in the books. No runs, no hits, no errors. It's the Orioles 7, the Angels 4. So Ken Forsch, only 6 of the 7 runs are earned. Tim Dwyer has walked twice and scored twice. And this time he hits a base hit in the left center field. Lynn picks it up on a hop. And so Dwyer is on first. Mick Kelleher, by the way, is your new shortstop. Burleson must be hurt. Kelleher is a 3, which is below average. Here's Rich Dower. He has singled, doubled, and scored. 7 for Baltimore. 1 out, or nobody out, bottom of the 6th. Runner on first. Wifey's off to work. Love you, darling. Here's the pitch to Dower, and there's a fly ball to center. Back goes Lynn. He makes the catch on the track. Dwyer does not go anywhere, and there's finally 1 out. Rick Dempsey is 1 for 2. He has a run-scoring single and an RBI. Well, he scored a run and has an RBI. So we'll see how long they go with Forsch. You take a look, and it's a pretty short pen for the Angels. It's Hassler, Mailer, and Corbett. And so it's 2 lefties and a righty. Goltz, who went last night, is tired. Keeson is tired. Renko is tired. And Mike Witt is tired. And if you want to look to see what the Orioles have, it's actually a full pen. They've got, but they're not great. Grimsley, Tepe Martinez, Storm Davis, Sammy Stewart, yeah, and Tim Stoddard. So that will be when the time comes. Dempsey, as I said, 1 for 2. Runner on first. There's a base hit into center field. Throw it into second. Dempsey's going to have a double. So they got to be thinking about what to do with Forsch as Al Bunbury comes to the plate. Al is 0 for 3. He has an RBI and he's scored a run. So Forsch through 27 batters, 98 pitches, 5 1/3 innings, 8 hits, 7 runs, 6 earned. The homer to Murray, which was a gargantuan blast. He has walked 2 and struck out 2. Forsch has pitched to Bunbury. Base hit left side. Downing picks it up on a hop. Dwyer will score, and here comes Mickey Mailer. That'll do it for Forsch. And in his case, 8 runs was enough. So we have a pitching change from Memorial Stadium in Baltimore. The Orioles 8, the Angels 4. And Mickey Mailer, wearing looks like one of those airbrush Atlanta Braves outfits, has only been here a little bit. This is relief appearance number 4. He has no record, but an ERA of 9.82. And you get that because when he threw 4 nights ago against Cleveland, over 2 innings, he allowed 4 hits, 3 runs, all earned. He walked 2 and struck out none. So in 3 2/3 innings of god-awful relief, he's allowed 7 hits, 4 runs, all earned, and 3 walks. Gulliver will come out, and it'll be Len Sakata will pinch hit. And with 1 out, he's not going to bunt. 264, 4 homers, and 35 RBI. So Mailer will face the righty, Singleton on deck. 8-4 Baltimore. Bottom of the 6th. Takata, base hit left side. Dempsey will score. Bunbury goes to third. And what was this about the Orioles underachieving? It's not over yet, but Mickey Mailer gave up a base hit. Here comes Kenny Singleton. Singleton batting right-handed against the lefty. Ken is 1 for 2. He singled and has an RBI. Mailer delivers, and there's a ground ball to Kelleher. How about that? Bunbury will try to score. Only throw is to first. Singleton is retired. It's 9-4. But Kelleher stayed. Oh, wait a minute. And he stepped on the bag at second and threw to first for the double play. Kelleher just kind of grabbed it. He's not a good fielder at all. Grabbed it, was near the bag at second, stepped on the bag, threw to first to get the double play. The run scores. But the inning is over. We go to the top of the seventh. California's got a big road to hoe. The Orioles 9, the Angels 4. So Ripken moves to third. And Cicada is a 3 and short. So the baseball card has been demoted. So Ripken at third, Cicada a 3 and short. Flanagan with a 5-run lead. Earl's going to let him try to get as many outs as he can over the next 23 pitches. 27 batters in, 107 pitches, 6 innings, 6 hits. The big home run by Gritch. He's walked 2 and struck out 6. 4 runs all earned. And faced Brian Downing, who was 1 for 2. He has walked, doubled, and scored. How can the run count? The run can count if it's scored before the double play was recorded. Because you can never assume the double play. So if the run scores before the second out is made, because theoretically you can throw to any base. You don't see it very often, but Kelleher could have stepped on second and fired at home to get the runner home. But usually you get the sure out at first. But yeah, that's why double plays, you never have an RBI, because you can never assume that one's going to happen. So that's how the run counts. The run scored before the second out was made. So that's how it's done. Pitch to Downing is a strike 3. Flanagan got through a 1-2 curve and at the knees. And that's 7 for Flanagan. Brings up Rod Carew is 2 for 3. He has singled, doubled, and scored a run, or drove in a run. Just like when you have a runner on third and a ground out to second, that run's going to score. You could technically throw home to get the run, but you're conceding the run by going for the sure out. As long as that run crosses the plate before the ball gets in the first baseman's glove. And now you know. Pitch to Carew. So fly ball to shallow left center. Bunbury comes in and makes the out, 2 away. So Flanagan may actually come out to start the 8th. Here's Don Baylor. He's 0 for 2 with a walk. Here's the pitch. Liner to center. Bunbury's got it. And that will retire the side. No runs, no hits, no errors. Stretch time here in Baltimore. Go get yourself a Natty Bow. You've learned something today. Baltimore 9, California 4. Yeah, as long as the run scores before the inning is over, and the out can't be recorded until. The run in second was a force play. And so, yes, that was a first. You're not making a tag at first on the double play. But just like in hockey, where when you have a scramble around the goal mouth and the ref won't blow the whistle when he can't see the puck, you can still slap it home until the whistle's blown. Same thing here. Until the play is over, you can do what you want. You do it at your own peril. So like I said, Kelleher or any of the other infielders, if they had it, could have tried to get the runner at the plate. But as long as that run is scored before the inning is over, it doesn't happen very often, but it counts. Same thing on a sac fly. You're reaching over to, the out is there, and you're taking the chance by going back to tag and score. A lot of time they're not going to try to throw you out, but that's why it's a sacrifice. So here's Murray. It just doesn't happen that often. But I think in this case, Kelleher kind of came up with it late. He was so close to the bag that he just ran over to get the force and then threw to first. But that runner on third was already well down the bag. And so that's why it's important to throw those, to make those throws quick, because you want that runner. And you don't want that run to score. Murray hit that gargantuan 3-run shot his last time up in the 5th. 9-4 Baltimore, bottom of the 7th. Pitched from Mailer. Murray hits this one in a shallow right. Reggie's there for the out. Here's John Lowenstein. He's 0 for 3 with a strikeout. Mailer deals, and there's a slow grounder to Carew. Flips it to Mailer for the out. So 2 quick outs. It's just one of those rare occasions where baseball is once the ball is in play, baseball is a game of risk. And how much risk you want to how aggressive you want to be in some situations is how you score runs. Here's Ripken. He's not been all that aggressive today. He's 0 for 3. So Mailer has settled down here in the 7th. That's the first 2 in order, and Ripken hits this one in the left. Downing will go and make the catch to retire the side. No runs, no hits, no errors. 7 in the books. Baltimore 9, California 4. And that'll bring up Reggie Jackson, who's had himself quite the afternoon. He struck out all 3 times. Flanagan on 119 pitches will start the inning. Pitch to Jackson is this time that's going to be laced into right field for a base hit. And that's a poor play by Dwyer. In fact, Ivy Jester is going to say a time play is a play where if the runner crosses the plate before the 3rd out is made and it's not a forced play, the run scores. A common example is a runner on second out. The batter hits a ball into the gap but is thrown out at second. If the run crosses the plate prior to the 3rd out, it counts. But in this case, it was a forced play, but you can never assume the double play. I don't think the game got it wrong because you can score on a double play. It really doesn't matter, and they're up anyway. Here's the Sensei, 1 for 2. Doug has an RBI, single, and a run scored. He's got 52 on the year. Jackson on first. Ground ball to Sakata. This might be 2. Dower for 1. Over to Murray at first, and they got him. So Flanagan has his double play. You can't score on the double play as that's a double force play. And I guess the game got it wrong. Because it counted it as a run, unless I missed it. Nope, you know what? I screwed up before. Dave Gardner showed me this. So the first, Dwyer scored to make it 8-4 on the Bunbury single, and then Sakata singled, and I missed it. So that's my error. The game got it right to make it 9-4, and then Singleton grounded to short for the double play. So it's my error, not the game's. Send your letters to me. No, I'm the one that screwed up, not the game. I didn't realize that the single scored another run to make it 9-4. So just in case you missed all that, the error is mine, not the game's. When Sakata singled, I didn't realize that Dempsey scored, which made it 9-4. So that's me error, not that. And then when Singleton grounded into that amazing double play, I didn't realize that the run had scored before that. So the run did not score based on the double play. I'm wrong. The game is right. 50 lashes for me with Johnny Damon's ramen noodle arm. Well, in Lasorda's case, I'm going to get whipped by a linguine noodle. You can ask him on Thursday when we have the Phillies and the Dodgers. Flanagan, with 2 out here, will face Freddie Lynn, who's 0 for 2, a stolen base and a strikeout. Yeah, no, so Dave was right and ID is right. But good baseball bunch there. Recall, Dave. So I was wrong. I missed the run scoring on the single. Bad on me as Juan Benitez will pinch hit. Benitez at 295 on the year with 4 RBI. I messed up. Pitch from Flanagan. And that's a base hit into right center field. Benitez is going for 3, and he's got it easy. And so he just kind of put that in the gap by the Oriole bullpen, and he can run all day. He's got speed. And we're coming to get Flanagan. So we got a pitching change for Bobby Grich. We're going to go with Tim Stoddard. Actually, Storm Davis is who we're going to go with. Storm hasn't pitched in a while. He will now. So Storm is making his 17th appearance of the year, 14th out of the pen, 3 and 14 and 17. Yep, 14th appearance out of the pen. He's 3-2 with a 3.25 ERA. He's been converted into a starter now, but he's not scheduled to start till August 6th. So his last start, 7 2/3 innings against Oakland. 4 hits, 4 runs, only 3 earned. He walked 3 and struck out 4. So in 44 1/3 innings, 34 hits, 3 home runs, 17 in total, 16 of those earned. He's walked 17 and struck out 27. The A's beat him. And so the runner on third, his job is to get the last 4 outs. It's not a save situation, but the Orioles want to win. Bobby Grich hit that 2-run shot in the left in the second to make it 2-0 California at the time. Here's the pitch, popped up, ripped in by the foul line, makes the catch to retire the side. No runs, 2 hits, no errors. 7-, well, the error is mine. 7.5 in the books. Baltimore 9, California 4. Oh, Dave, yep. Too bad Storm is not facing Gorman Thomas. Could be Storman versus Gorman. And so, yeah. So that brings up Jim Dwyer, who has scored 3 times this afternoon. He has walked twice and singled. Mailer has pitched well, and Dwyer's coming out. Disco Danny Ford at 245, 4 homers and 35 RBI. Benitez, by the way, moves into center field. I gotta go fix that. His spelling. He is a 2 in center, so that range is not good, but his arm is fine. No, Dave, I messed up. I did not realize that the single scored a run, and I thought it came in on the double play. So I'll show it to you again. It's my error, not the game's error. Sakata's single scored a run. It scored Dempsey to make it 9-4. And I didn't realize that. Me bad, not game, Ron bad, as opposed to Sinbad. And then the double play ended the inning. The run did not score. I just didn't realize that the run had scored before. Here, I'll leave it up there for a second. It was my error, not the game's. Dan Ford is at 245, 4 homers and 34 RBI. Yeah. Oh, there. Oh, stop it. Stop it, Dave. Ah. Dan Ford should be a hockey player on Anaheim. Then he could be a disco duck. Thank you, Rick Dees, in the weekly top 40. Heard on great stations such as WZZZ, where sleep is beneficial. Mailer delivers to start the inning. Ground ball to Carew over to first. And there's one away. And so, yeah, it's Ron's error, not the game's error. What I get for paying attention to you out there in Chatland. Rich Dower, there. I'll blame you guys. Rich Dower is 2 for 3. He has single, doubled, and scored a run. It's still 9, regardless, it's 9-4. As we go to the bottom of the 8th, you're unsubscribing a solid gold stuff. I think Gardner's trying out to be a solid gold dancer. Rich Dower is 2 for 3. He has single, doubled, and scored. Mailer delivers, and there's a ground ball to Grich, who makes a fantastic play from his knees over to Carew for the out. or a disco mighty duck. Wouldn't that be a, oh God. Rick Dempsey is 2 for 3. Rick has singled, doubled, scored twice, and has an RBI. And so, while you guys talk about disco ducks and whether you want to continue to subscribe or not, please do. And hit the bell so you know when we stream something live. A big potential win for the Orioles. They need this one. They're up 9-4, bottom of the 8th. 4 runs, 8 hits, 2 errors for the Angels. And they've left 6 on. The Orioles, 9 runs on 10 hits. That's right. I'm only doing whatever it is you wanted me to do after you start your body painting. 9 runs, 10 hits, and no errors, and 3 left on. And the announcer has one big egg all over his face. Pitch to Dempsey. Ball 4. Hit that like button. So Al Bumbry is 1 for 4. He has 2 RBI. Came on that single. His 33 on the year. He scored a run. Mailer has acquitted himself quite well. The Angels really needed that. 2 1/3 innings, the 1 hit, and a walk. He hasn't struck anybody out, but he really is going to save the Angels from having to use really anybody that. And right now, it is starting to matter in this point of the season. Here's the pitch. Bumbry, base hit into right. Jackson picks it up off a hop. Rick Dempsey goes to third. And runners on first and third for Len Sakata, who has an RBI single. He's 1 for 1. Glenn Gilberti would not have been pleased. To get pulled, well, he was a lefty against a lefty, and I know Earl was big into that. And the ghost of Earl watches over in the chat, and so if I do something that Earl wouldn't have liked, trust me, I hear about it. Mailer delivers, and Sakata hits this one into the hole and left, and that's a base hit. Dempsey will score. Bumbry holds at second, and here comes Singleton 1 for 3. Has his 37th RBI and grounded into his 20th double play. Everybody runs on Reggie Gard. It shouldn't hurt, Dave. I'm the one that boo-booed. You go get your body paints ready, and I'll go unsubscribe to your channel. So Singleton 1 for 3. And Ferguson goes out to chat with Mailer. Mickey delivers, and Singleton draws the walk. And so they're loaded again, for this time for Eddie Murray, who hit his 20th of the year in the left center in the 5th. 10-4, good buddy. The Orioles lead the Angels. Forsch has been out for a while. And so, what did I say about Mickey Mailer pitching well? That's why I used to work for a company run by Sports Illustrated, just so I could have that jinx too. Mailer delivers, and Murray lines this one, and Bobby Grich leaps and makes a diving stop to rob at least 1 run coming in. And so the inning is over. A run on 2 hits and no errors. We've played 8. Baltimore 10. California 4. And Dan Ford stays in the game and right. Storm Davis now just wants to get his work done. Mick Kelleher, who caused all this commotion, is 2 for 24 on the year with an RBI. Davis delivers, and there's a fly ball to left center. Bumbry, 1 out. So the Orioles should go to 52 and 37. California will fall to 55 and 38. Joe Ferguson 1 for 3. He is single, thrown for 7 touchdown passes, and scored a run. Here's the pitch. Struck him out. So Davis, a 2-2 fastball just below the belt, strike 3. And that'll bring up Brian Downing. 1 for 3. He has walked, struck out, doubled, and scored a run. May the force be with you. It wasn't with him today. 1 bad inning. And Downing, ground ball to Murray, takes it to the bag himself, and that'll do it. So the Orioles win this one. They snap a 2-game losing streak and convoy themselves back to the win column with a 10-4 win over the Angels. And so Ken Forsch, 5 in the third innings, 9 hits, 9 runs, 8 earned. Oh, 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 that will put a crimp in your colon. Walked 2 and struck out 2, and so he falls to 11 and 6. Mike Flanagan, not a great effort, but he hung in there for 7 and 2/3, 8 hits, 4 runs, all earned. A homer, walked 2 and struck out 7. Storm Davis retired all 4 men he faced. I'm going to say Murray gets the game of the Miller Lite player of the game, and he does. His gargantuan, gigantic shot in the 5th was all the difference. All right, let's play the rest of the day in baseball, shall we? Shall we, gang? So Thursday it's Philadelphia and Los Angeles, and then we'll see about what we're doing Friday at lunch. Football tomorrow, the 75 Cowboys and Vikings in the replay of the Hail Mary pass interference game. Okay, baseball earlier today. This Wednesday, the 21st of July, 1982, Cubs beat the Astros 5-4 and 10. Lee Smith gets the win. He goes to 9 and 7. Ray Knight with his 5th home run. Mets beat the Giants 6-1. How about that? Dave Kingman with his 30th of the year. Texas and Boston split a doubleheader. Boston wins the opener 6-2. Eckersley with his 10th win. The Rangers win the nightcap 3-2. Rick Honeycutt gets his 6th win. Dewey Evans with 2 walks in game 2. Yankees beat the Mariners 4-3. Rich Gossage goes to 4-1. Dave Winfield with his 20th home run. Pittsburgh beat Cincinnati 2-1. Cleveland downs Oakland 9-3. John Denny with his 13th of the year. Or sixth of the year. Toronto beat Kansas City 5-1. Tom Clancy goes to 13 and 10. Detroit beat Chicago. That's a big win on both sides, 8-2. Ujer goes to 5 and 5. Harold Baines with his 15th home run of the year. Milwaukee beat Minnesota 12-3. Jim Slayton goes to 2 and 2. Ben Ogilvy with 2 homers. He now has 26. St. Louis 3, Atlanta 2. Murrah goes to 6 and 8. Bruce Sutter with his 16th save. San Diego beats Philadelphia 5-2. Tim Lawler goes to 9 and 7. Mike Schmidt, who remember is going for the Triple Crown, 1 for 2, a double, a stolen base, and 2 walks. And Los Angeles, in a big battle between Rogers and Valenzuela, the Dodgers beat the Expos 3-1. Ron Cey with his 12th of the year. So as we say goodbye to you on this Tuesday afternoon, another look at the standings. Montreal by 6 over Philly, 11 over St. Louis. Washington. Los Angeles by 11 over Atlanta. The American League East does not change. Tigers by 2 over the Birds, 5 over the Brewers, 7 over Toronto. In the American League West, no change. Well, no, did Kansas City win? No, they lost to Toronto. No change. California by 1 over the Royals, 5.5 over Chicago, and Seattle kind of hanging tough, 9 back. Baseball tomorrow, Thursday for you. It'll be the Philadelphia Phillies. As you can see, Mike Schmidt, as his chase for the Triple Crown, takes his act to Dodger Stadium. Noontime on that. Football tomorrow night. This week on the E! Tomorrow at noon on Dave Gardner's channel. I'm not letting him body paint himself in front of me. Until then, I'm Ron Chuckett. Hit that like and subscribe, and we'll talk to you the next time.